just a backstory. The backstory of that is when he took 6th at the Olympia, which was unexpected. We knew he was going to be in the top 10, but we didn't know how well. And then when he took 6th, it was like we were crazy. So when he walked out after prejudging, I grabbed him and we started jumping up and down in a circle. And then when I saw him come off the stage, I'm like, I'm doing that on the stage. So
and I remember 2020 was the year where I was like, okay, if it doesn't work out this year, if I don't make it Olympia this year, I'm not bodybuilding anymore. That'll be it for me. So that year was, okay, if it doesn't work this year, I'm done.
You know what's interesting? Sorry to jump in. For every kind of great or successful bodybuilder, or even just athlete that I've kind of interacted with, they all have a point like that where they were on that
edge.
Yeah, they were questioning, okay, or this is the last kind of go, and if it doesn't work out, I need to get a real job. Something like that.
I would say that's all strength athletes.
It's everybody.
It's probably every athlete. What pushed it over the edge to say, okay, now this is it?
I mean, that was because I was in debt, you know, credit cards, everything else was racking up. And literally 2020 was like, okay, I literally came in 2020 with the idea, okay, this is before COVID actually started. So I was like, look, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it this year.
Yeah.
If by the end of this year I haven't stand on the Olympia stage, I'm done with bodybuilding because it's just not for me. So when we kind of started, I remember we started prepping for a show in April. I mean, the show was in April, so we started prepping at the beginning of the year, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, damn, okay. What do you do now? I mean, I didn't know how long it was going to last. I thought it was, you know, just like most people thought, oh, probably be a couple of weeks and everything will go back to normal.
But you've already made a deal with yourself that this is the year you're doing everything you have.
So, and then when it happened, I was like, okay, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then weeks and months and months, and I was on prep for almost 6 months before I even got the chance to go to South Korea. So every show that I was pretty much like 2 weeks away from, it gets cancelled. And it's like, okay, now you're going on 6 weeks. So I carried on prepping anyway. And then you get close enough and you go cancel, and you go, oh, now you're going on 10 weeks. Okay. And then it just felt like it carried on like that all year. And then finally, when obviously the opportunity came to South Korea, I'm like, well, hell, this one has to work. So it was kind of like.
And that was second though, right?
Yeah.
So did you qualify, excuse my ignorance, but did you qualify that year? So what made you stay?
Basically,
because you see what I'm saying? You didn't do what you wanted to do.
Because basically at the end of 2020, you know, I was like, damn, okay, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Basically, you know, doing the whole quarantine thing, and you know, if you have to go to a new country, you have to quarantine in a hotel for 14 days. So it was in that period, and basically all the shows were being cancelled and everything else. I really wanted to qualify for the Olympia that year. So I was like, you know what, the only show UK, we weren't allowed to fly to the States. The only show we could fly to was the one in South Korea. So I kind of called them up and said, look, I want to do your show. What's the requirements? And they go, if you're coming for UK, you're going to have to quarantine in a hotel for 14 days.
Yeah.
And at the time, I sort of thought about it thinking, okay, it's probably like, you know, a beautiful hotel, got the hotel gym, you know, no big deal. I'd probably call in, take out, and sort of have those meals prepared and everything else. And first, I thought it was going to be like that, you know. And when I kind of spoke to the promoters time, it was, no, when you get there, we can't reach you. We can't give you anything. You're literally in your room for 14 days. You're not allowed to leave there. You can't go to the gym. You can't do. That's it.
So they're sending you like a peanut butter sandwich every couple hours.
No, you don't get that.
Really?
You don't get that. Basically, you're not even allowed to. You don't have meals. They bring you like, you know, the kind of meals you have in the airplane.
Yeah.
They bring you that 3 times a day.
Your last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And at the time he's 280 fucking pounds. You know, he's trying to
All right, so how'd this go?
So basically, you know, they told me about it and they said this is the situation. And I kind of thought about it, go, okay, this is impossible. It's not going to be 2 weeks after. I'm sure you're not going to. And then, 2 weeks out, you're pretty much in shape and everything else. So you got to maintain that for 2 weeks. You know what? I was hungry, man. I really wanted to do a show. I really wanted to qualify for the Olympia. So, you know, I speak to my wife and we said, you know what? Is it actually possible? Can it be done? Mm-hmm. And I was like, hell, if anybody's going to do it, I'm going to freaking do it. You know, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we said, okay, forget packing any clothes and anything. Like, you don't need all that. You just need enough food to last you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we took all our chicken breasts, all that thing, froze it up overnight, like literally have it frozen. Stuffed my bag with as much frozen food as we can. Went there, literally as soon as I got there, got guys in hazmat suits, put you in a van, put you in a truck, take you there, put you in the room, shut the door. It's okay, see you in 2 weeks' time. So I was in there, obviously, living off of this. Yeah. And every morning, they obviously drop your meals 3 times a day. Look at the meals, and you just look at it and just go, yeah, straight in the bed, can't eat none of that. And, you know, wake up in the morning, first thing, do cardio, I'll be running on the spot.
He was posting stories on his Instagram.
You can't leave the room either, so you're like running in your.
He's posting stories, just running on the spot. And I'm watching this, going, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah, so run on the spot and then use band work, anything, handstand, push-ups, anything just to keep that shape going and everything else. So did that, I mean, that's when we first started talking and everything. So did that for 2 weeks straight, and it was definitely an eye opener and everything else. And it was something that it was kind of a shock to be able to do that. And then I remember after the 2 weeks, on the 14th day, they said, "Oh, by the way, we got bad news. The show's been canceled." Yeah. So and at the time, I remember the time I was working construction at the time, and I wasn't allowed to travel overseas at that time. No, I wasn't allowed to travel, but they frowned upon it because it was all the corona. They really didn't want anybody risking anything. So I couldn't even tell my job that I was going there. So we kept it quiet. So when I was there and I was putting everything on the line just for this. They found out and I got fired.
Wait a minute. Yeah. I didn't know this part of the story.
Oh,
he did. Okay, wait. You did a really bad job of keeping it a secret because he was posting on Instagram every day
I didn't. For the first 7 days, we left the.
Oh, you didn't post until after.
Nobody knew. Okay. And then after 7 days, the promoters were basically trying to promote the show, and they said I was coming to do the show, and nobody believed them. They were like, He's not here. He has quarantine. So the promoters basically asked me that, "Look, can you just release a video just saying, look, I'm in South Korea, I'm in the hotel room."
Just so that somebody will come. Yeah.
So I did that post and I sent it to the promoters and said, "Look, just don't tag me in it. Just keep it to yourself because I'm really trying to keep this on low key." So did that and everybody saw it and everybody shared it. And I was like, okay, see how this goes. And then he found out about it and then he interviewed me and then he went over you. Even then, I didn't want to put it on my social. I mean, it was on YouTube, but somebody obviously at work went to Google it and it popped up and they found out about it going, "Hey, what's this?" And they weren't happy about it. So it was almost like you were putting everything on the line just for this one.
But then the show never happened.
The show never happened at first. The show never happened at first.
No.
So they canceled it first.
Yeah, but then they put it back on.
Then they put it back on.
And then
the same day, though?
2 weeks later.
Fuck!
So we had to stay there. They had to stay there.
So basically, because after the first 2 weeks, they said, okay, because after quarantine, you can have to out to the public. And they said, look, Sam, you can either go home now and call it a day. Nice try, but we can promote the show. We're going to postpone the show for another 2 weeks. Or you could choose to come out to another hotel and go to a proper gym and eat properly and stay here for another 2 weeks. And at the time, I was kind of like, I've just gone through this. And obviously, when they just told you that, oh, by the way, we postponed the show because it could cancel, they're not even guaranteeing you that it will be on after another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They just said, well, you can stay for another 2 weeks. We think we can put it on then if you're willing to stay. So it's almost like, okay, I've already made a loss. I've already been here this long. So, and you're not guaranteed that you're going to have another 2 weeks. So what do? Do you just call it in, call it quits? Or do you say, oh, sorry, I'm already here?
I would have stayed.
So there we go. So that's basically what happened. At the time I was like, okay, I'm already here.
Yeah.
At least this time I'm known.
You have a little more freedom,
too. A lot more freedom and everything else. So I stayed for another 2 weeks and then did the show and came second. So, but it was definitely one of those experiences that really, pretty much changed my life.
Yeah.
So.
But this is a sidebar question. Was that the place where, was it the gyms that you couldn't wear your shoes in the gym?
Yeah.
Or was it just in the locker room?
It was in the locker room.
So you couldn't wear your shoes in the locker room?
In the locker room. And even though the locker room was like wet floors and everything else. So,
so you go to the locker room and you got to take your shoes off before you walk in. But then the floors are all wet and shit from the showers.
Because everything makes so much sense.
I remembered from hearing that. I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So what happened after that show then? What was your next thing?
So basically we did that. We kind of did that show and came second and then we flew back to the UK and everything else. And then I think by that time they was kind of bringing out the COVID measures and everything a bit down a bit. And then we had a show in Spain. Did that place fourth. And that was basically my 2020 year was basically that point. And I remember even at that point I was kind of like really disappointed because I really wanted to qualify for the Olympia that year. And everything just seemed like the only thing I went to plan was basically me meeting Fuad. Everything that year felt like it fell apart. So we started sort of prepping towards that show, and everything was going really well. At this point, I'm feeling really good. Things just started coming together nicely, and I'm feeling like, okay, you know what? This is the big break. This is the point. I know I can do this now. I got a good support system. Everything's working out. We started prepping. And then we kind of got to about 8 weeks out. And, I remember, I spoke to John the Friday, and we kind of have our check-ins like we do. And he kind of said, man, kid, you know what? You're going to shock the world when you get on stage. They're not ready for what's coming. You're going to really shock a lot of people. And, you know, and he started making me believe that, you know, I really said, okay, you know, this feels right. It feels good. And I remember that Friday we kind of spoke and we had a check-in and he was like, you know, kind of do that. And then I think it was like on Sunday afternoon, you know, I started getting messages from people saying, oh man, dude, I'm so sorry for you, man. My condolences and stuff like that. And I was kind of like weirded out and freaked out about what the hell are they talking about? You know, what is this, you know? And, you know, at that point, it was like, okay. So I remember switching on the news to see what's going on. And I kind of opened up social media and, you know, that's when I actually heard about John's passing. And, you know, that was the point where it was like, man, okay, that was it. It's like, you know, every time you seem to catch a break, life has a funny way of pulling that thing around
every time,
your feet, you know. So yeah, that was the moment that I just thought, you know, I can't do this, you know. And I really thought, you know, nah, I was gonna pull out right then and say, look, that was gonna be the end of it, you know. And obviously, spoke to Fuad and spoke to the rest of the guys and everything else and said, look, you know, with everything that's happened. And then I was already halfway through a prep anyway. So, you know, they kind of advised me that, look, you know, you and John have already been working on something. You really, you know, he really believed in you. You really believed that you're going to do something big with it. Don't stop. Finish up what you said you were going to, you know, finish up the race, keep going. So after that, you know, I kind of, after, you know, a day or two of just kind of like thinking about it, I'm really thinking, damn, okay, you know, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for John. I'm going to, you know, carry on going. So I basically kind of reach out to, you know, but John have always spoke to me like, you know, he speaks to my coach Meadows and he tells him about me and saying, look, I got this guy in the UK, you know, he's going to be something, you wait till you see him and sort of thing. So I thought, okay, if I was going to do this, I need to reach out to somebody that actually knows about what me and John were doing and everything else. So I needed help. We knew we were big coming there. And I remember when we started coming down and we got to a point where we're 10 weeks and what happens is, because I got like, you know, just like most bodies, we got bodies the small feel, right? Yeah. We get a lot of size and we feel big. When it starts to come off, we're like, oh, we lost everything. So I always make sure that, look, when we start prepping, I'm like, look, I stopped checking my weight on the scale. Look, it's all about getting lit.
Tell him that he didn't check his weight once.
I didn't want to know. I was like, look, if you start honing in that, you start self-sabotaging. You don't want to get smaller now.
Oh my God, I weigh 298.
Yeah. So my wife goes in, she takes
I know it. Like that, you know, like that sucks.
You know. So my wife, she goes around the house, she takes all the batteries out of the scale. That's all. Oh yeah. She's like, no, we don't want to know. Because she goes, you check it, you get depressed. Don't. So I'm like, yep, I know. So she takes it out, so we don't know. You know, I was like, oh, what are you weighing now? I was like, honestly, we're gonna have to skip that line because it's not happening. I don't want to know. I said, okay, forget it. We just go by look. So we coming down, and I'm by that point I'm wearing 4XL t-shirts. I'm coming down and we're getting leaner. I'm still wearing 4XL t-shirts. They're not getting smaller. They're not getting leaner. I'm thinking, this is interesting. So we came all the way down. We're like 2 weeks out from the show. And I'm looking going, and everybody in the gym going, dude, you still look just as big as you were in the office and you still look huge. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, come on, man. But we can't really be that. And we were sort of, you know, honing that idea of just getting in shape and I'm thinking about it. And I'm really curious. I remember kept asking, so what are you weighing? And I'm like, I don't want to know. I know of it, but I don't want to know. So then when we obviously flew out to, because even when we were going, because I always check my weight, the only time we'll check my weight is a week out from the show. Yeah. We check it once, and even then I don't want to know. So what happens is I'll close my eyes and I'll stand on scale. My wife will actually take a picture of it. No, we'll take a video of it, or she'll take a picture of it. Even Arnold was the same thing. My wife takes a video of it, and she doesn't tell me until after the show. And I'm like, I don't want to know, I don't care. Just do it and let me know later. So she takes a video of takes a video of the whole process. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we went out to Vegas, and you know, she obviously whispers this to Milos, like, you ain't gonna believe this.
He's still 300. He's still 300 pounds.
And she's like, he's 296. Milos like, don't tell anybody.
How did that feel for you, Samson? Getting a 7? Like, I don't know how you feel about Philly Ether. Like,
oh my God. You know, the thing is, like I said, like when I got in bodybuilding, it was 2014. I remember that's when I was planning on doing my first amateur show ever. And I remember Generation Iron, that movie came out literally the day of my show. And I remember Mel bought the DVD and we sat down in her flat and we watched it before I went out to the show. And I was in awe. You know, you just going, oh my God, this is what bodybuilding can be. You know, this is what it is. I remember seeing Phil and just mind blown. Just like, oh my God, he just looked this godlike physique and everything else and all the demeanor and the confidence. And I was just blown away by him. And even up till now, I still look at him in that same way.
Yeah.
And so when you're kind of there and you see him walk up to you and he knows you by name, knows you almost, because I'm standing there, I'm trying to be cool and not be, not just have my jaw just drop on the floor and be like, and, you know, but I'm standing there going, thank you. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it really
The
is.
night before you have Arnold give you a trophy, and then the next night
It's,
oh man.
Well, my question is that night when you're in bed, like everybody else is away.
Yeah.
It's because that all goes away, right?
Yeah.
On the stage, all that stuff, all the shit's cool. What's going through your head that night when you're just laying there?
I remember obviously now we went back to the hotel. And, you know, I put the trophy on the table.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go to bed. And I'm thinking, I'm not sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to sleep tonight. And, you know, actually, I take sleeping pills just because I had to switch off, and I knew that we had to be up early.
Yeah.
So kind of went to sleep. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night. I think it was 5 a.m. I wake up in the middle, and his room is dark, and I switch on the light to see, was it all a dream? Or
Yeah.
And I literally switched on, I went into the room and looked at the trophy and going, it really happened.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a dream. It actually happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is, like you say, when you're working that hard for something, you dream about it.
Yes.
This is what they don't know. You visualize it, you dream about it, because you're in the grit, you're feeling every pain of trying to achieve it. So you visualize it over and over, and in your dreams, and even the call outs. I remember I'm dreaming about the call outs. I'm dreaming about, okay, when it goes wrong, when it goes right, and I'm dreaming about it. Even when we were backstage at the finals and we're about to go out for the results, and I remember, you know, I'm telling them, I'm going, you know, tonight we're gonna have the results. I'm thinking, I dread that part so much. I'm dreading when they call us, they're making the awards. And of everything else, that's the moment I fear the most, because I'm standing there and I know in my mind, I'm saying, all I can envision is me winning. But what about if it doesn't happen? What do you do then? And I just couldn't visualize what I would do if it didn't happen. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, you know, we're standing about to go on. I'm thinking, okay, maybe you're trying to sort of prepare yourself just in case it doesn't. I'm trying to envision, okay, that moment when it all comes falling down, what do you do? What do you do? And I'm just like, I can't think about it. I just don't know how. I just cannot see me not winning. I just, you know, and it was just so hard to visualize. So when we were on stage and they were obviously calling out the results, and it got to that point where it was like, okay, and second place. And it feels like the whole world pauses at that moment. And that might be a few seconds for everybody. For you, it feels like hours. And you're standing there and you're thinking, oh God.
Yeah.
Is it enough? Is it time? Is it now? Is it time? What is going to happen in the next few seconds? And you realize you just won. And it feels like all the whole prep, all that pressure, all that dream, all that hope, all the things you think, come on, man, I can do this. It feels like all that weight just got pulled off your shoulders.
Can I ask something in that moment? Considering Andrew had just been announced third, and I had it as, in my opinion,
they were going to put.
You could either have Nick in first or third. I didn't think they were going to put him in second. So he honestly sat in there.
Yep.
What were you expecting in second? Were you expecting second or first?
When Andrew was third. Actually, that was the first point that scared me a bit.
Yeah.
Like I was standing there and I was thinking, okay, are they going to, you know, we're both very similar.
Yeah.
Are they going to have us, you know, Nick in first and I'll be second at that point? And you know, honestly, when you're standing there, I saw it happen. You feel like someone stuck a knife in your gut and they just twisting it. And you're standing there and it's almost feeling like, no. And you literally, that's what I mean, that moment feels like slow motion. And I'm thinking, come on, man, really? Come on. You can't tell me it's not now. You can't tell me. And then it feels like finally when you hear that, it's like, oh my God. And it's a surreal moment. There's no words can ever explain that moment when you get that confirmation that, yeah, you were right.